What if the broke guy is the one with the fancy car? 5 money rules get passed down in quietly wealthy families like heirlooms. They're not secret. They're not complicated. Most people just never hear them until it's far too late. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, the average American completes 13 years of public schooling. They learn the Pythagorean theorem. They learn the causes of World War I. They graduate without ever hearing the words opportunity cost. Rule 1. Opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend isn't just gone. It's also every future dollar that dollar could have become. That's the price tag nobody prints on the receipt. A $7 daily coffee habit runs $2,500 a year. Invested at a 7% annual return, that same money becomes over $130,000 in 30 years. This isn't about guilt-tripping you over lattes. It's about making every trade consciously. Quietly wealthy people don't spend less. They spend with full awareness of what they're actually trading away. Here's the problem. The brain is wired for now. A pleasure today feels more real than a chart projection 30 years out. That gap between present bias and future value is exactly where broke decisions are born. Rule 2. Asset-first purchasing. Before you buy something that costs money every month, buy something that makes money every month. Assets first, liabilities second. That's the sequence wealthy families drill into their kids. In 1997, Robert Kiyosaki published Rich Dad, Poor Dad and drew one of the most replicated diagrams in personal finance history. Money either flows toward you or away from you. Assets push it toward you. Everything else pulls it away. Imagine buying a duplex at 26 before buying a luxury car. Rental income from one unit covers the mortgage. The second unit covers the car payment. The car is real, but an asset is paying for it. But most people do it backwards. They buy the car first, then the car payment eats the savings they would have used to buy the asset. The sequence is everything. Flip it, and you flip your entire financial life. Rule 3. Tax-advantaged accounts. The U.S. tax code contains entirely legal tools designed to let you grow wealth without paying taxes on every gain. Quietly wealthy families use every single one. Most people use none. A 401k lets you invest pre-tax dollars, cutting your taxable income today. A Roth IRA lets you invest after-tax dollars and grow them completely tax-free. 2 different lanes, both legal, both powerful. Most people pick neither. Vanguard's 2023 How America Saves report found that 28% of workers with access to an employer 401k match didn't contribute enough to capture the full match. That's free money, declined, every single paycheck. Here's the counterintuitive part. These accounts weren't designed for the ultra-rich. They were designed for middle-income earners. Wealthy families teach their kids to max them out at 22. Most people discover them at 45. Rule 4 separates the quietly wealthy from the loudly broke. A 2022 Charles Schwab survey found that 60% of Americans who identify as wealthy feel pressure to spend money to appear successful, and nearly half admit it has damaged their savings. Spending to look rich and investing to become rich can consume identical dollar amounts. Only one of them compounds. In 1996, Thomas Stanley and William Danko published The Millionaire Next Door. Their research found that typical American millionaire drives a used domestic car, lives in a modest neighborhood, and has never owned a boat. Remember that fancy car from the opening? Stanley and Danko found that the people most likely to drive luxury vehicles aren't wealthy. They're high-income earners with near zero net worth. The car is the signal, wealth is the silence. But here's where it gets hard in 2024. Social media turned status signaling into a full-time performance sport. The algorithm rewards the flex. Nobody posts their Roth IRA contribution. The invisible moves never go viral. Rule 5. Compound interest. Whether Albert Einstein actually called it the eighth wonder of the world is debated. The math isn't. Money growing on top of money year after year eventually produces numbers that feel impossible until you run them. The rule of 72 is a mental shortcut. Divide 72 by your annual interest rate, and you get the years it takes to double your money. At 8% returns, your money doubles every 9 years. At 10%, every 7. Investor A puts in $5,000 a year, starting at 22, and stops at 32. Investor B puts in $5,000 a year, starting at 32, and never stops until 65. Both earn a 7% average annual return. Investor A wins by over $200,000. Here's the part that stings. Waiting just 1 year to start, not 10 years, 1 year, costs the average investor roughly $15,000 in final portfolio value at 7% over 40 years. 1 year, one decision, $15,000 gone before you spent a cent. Time is the scarcest asset in personal finance. You can earn more money. You can cut more expenses. You can't buy back the years you waited. Quietly wealthy families teach their kids this at 16, not 46. Here's what makes these 5 rules work. They're not 5 separate tips. They're one system. Opportunity cost frees up money. Asset-first purchasing puts that money to work. Tax-advantaged accounts protect the gains. Stealth wealth keeps you in the game. Compounding multiplies everything. Why does school skip all of this? Not conspiracy. Structure. The 1918 Cardinal Principles of Secondary Education standardized the U.S. curriculum around civic and industrial goals, not investor literacy. The financial system has changed dramatically since then. The curriculum hasn't kept pace. The Federal Reserve's 2022 Survey of Consumer Finances found the median white family held a net worth of $285,000, while the median black family held $44,000. Income differences explain part of that gap, but financial knowledge passed down across generations explains a significant share of it too. If you never learn these rules, your kids start from zero too. The families who close that gap aren't always the ones who earned more. They're the ones who opened the Roth at 22, bought the duplex at 26, and passed the framework down. That's the actual inheritance. If you're starting today, here's the sequence. Open a Roth IRA this week. Contribute whatever you can. Then audit one recurring expense through the opportunity cost lens. Those 2 moves cost nothing but time and build the foundation. The most common objection is real. What if there's no extra money? Start with $20 a month at 7% annual return. $20 a month started today grows to over $48,000 in 40 years. $20 now beats $200 in 5 years. The quietly wealthy person isn't the one posting about their portfolio. They're the one who bought the duplex at 26, maxed the Roth at 22, and let compounding do the work nobody else could see. Quiet is the strategy. Here's the number that should end this. A person who opens a Roth IRA at 22, contributes the maximum every year, and earns a 7% return will have approximately $1.4 million at 65, entirely tax-free. The fancy car from the opening depreciates to 0. The Roth doesn't.